Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting Radio, EB Radio. EB Radio. Your station for empowerment presents Mom Boss Talk Radio, a show that brings real life, real moms, and real experiences to empower mom bosses everywhere to be ambitious, highly driven, fierce, fabulous, and fearless. Mom Boss Talk Radio begins now.
Welcome, Mom Bosses. Welcome back to Mom Boss Talk Radio. I am Jerisha, and I am joined by Mayetta, and we are so excited to be here. We are so excited to be together to bring another topic. It's always good when we can come together, right? You know, we be so busy, but it's so good when we can come together. So today, we have an amazing topic that we wanted to talk about because I think it's just so fitting for us as we're just going through our journey and our seasons, right? So, Mayetta, why don't you tell everybody what we're gonna talk about today?
Knock, knock. It's opportunity, okay? It's opportunity. We're talking about it, okay? What's knocking at that door? Okay, are you taking that opportunity? Okay, I was reading a few quotes, and with us going through many transitions, and we talk about our seasons, and we're talking about elevation, but we always want to know, like, what does opportunities look like, right? And then I saw one quote: victory comes from finding opportunities in problems. So even when you feel like you are not doing well, you're not making the move you think you're supposed to be making, are you actually really looking at that big picture? Because it might be an opportunity sitting there amongst all those issues, right? And when I saw that, I'm like, you are absolutely right. Universe, you are absolutely right. You just dropped that in my lap. Because I'm like, people might, want to do one certain thing, and they're pushing, right? They're pushing for that one thing. They have that one thing on their mind, but it keeps failing. And it keeps, it's not going as planned. But then people find that little opportunity. It's like, wait a minute. And then they do a complete shift. Maybe the thing that you needed to do wasn't that particular thing. Maybe you needed to do that particular thing just to get that little opportunity. Right?
That's right. That's right. Right. That's good.
Crazy.
I'm like, well, because
Go ahead.
that's so good. Yes. Because it's like what you're just saying is positioning yourself for that opportunity. We have to be willing to position ourselves for the opportunity. And so I was just thinking, as we're talking about opportunities, and I think that's so good. And I love the quotes. And if you have more quotes, keep them coming, because we love just, diving into the quotes and all of that. And I was thinking too, because I was like, okay, in the season that I feel like I'm in and that I've been in before is those opportunities so once you position yourself, like, you position yourself for that opportunity and those opportunities that come, how do we know? Like, how do we know when to say yes to the opportunity? And so for me, I'll tell you, it is when it aligns with my dreams, my goals, my desires, my purpose. That's when I know to say yes to the opportunity. And I think we have to have like guidelines for saying yes. And so I think that is really powerful, because we don't always need to say yes. Yes, we need to position ourselves for the opportunities. But guess what? I promise it's like clockwork. And I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but as soon as you position yourself for the opportunities, it's like all of the opportunities just come out of nowhere, like at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. And then you have to make a decision, right? You have to make a decision. And I think that's a lesson it teaches us, because not everything that is put on the table in front of you, we need to say yes to. And I think about that even as far as to stress it a little bit, as far as food. Like when we sit down at the table and, we have, say we have a whole table full of all kinds of food. We don't always, just
Yeah,
because it's there doesn't mean you have to eat it. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we have to be willing to say no to things. And
exactly.
so I think it's just so good to have this conversation, because as mom bosses, we have so many opportunities that, come our way, and we need to have those guidelines for what you are going to say yes to, what you're going to say no to. And I think that is
Mm,
important. It's so funny that you mentioned a quote, because I actually came across one too. And the quote says, when you say yes to others, make sure you are not saying no to yourself.
mm,
Girl.
yes,
So isn't that good?
yes.
That
Mm,
is so good. That's good. And that makes you think, don't it? Don't it make you think?
yes. Oh
It
my
definitely
goodness.
makes you think.
You don't want to give up on
It makes
yourself. You don't want to,
Mhm.
you know, take yourself out of the race. You know,
Right.
um, when it comes to opportunities, and like you were saying before, you could once that door open and all these other doors start opening, and then now you have to that tough decision.
Mhm.
I've talked about this. I don't like making decisions. Okay, I hate making
Mhm.
decisions, but
Mhm.
it's that question of, okay, what do you feel in your heart? Okay,
Yes.
every opportunity is not going to align with you. Just because the door opens doesn't mean you have to necessarily walk through it. You
That's
have to,
right.
don't take it just because it's there, right? Don't
Mhm.
just take anything. Just don't start grasping at straws. Stop, don't try to, you're just grabbing at things and hoping something will stick. I don't think that's how opportunities go, because it's like,
Mhm.
it feels like once something, great happens, of course, you're a magnet for people to try to utilize you, and sometimes it's not the greatest. People are now like, oh
Mhm.
wait, she's shining a little bit. Let me go and throw this at her. She's gonna definitely take it, because they want something from you. But
That's
you have
right.
to also look at the bigger pictures. Like, no, what opportunity came to me authentically, organically, and it made me feel something?
Mhm.
That's the question we have to start asking. Which opportunity came to me organically and it was authentic and it made me feel something great? Not
Mhm.
it's not something that's shiny, like, you dangling something shiny in front of a baby's face and the baby want to keep grabbing at it. No, you don't want to grab the shiny. Grab the authentic. Grab the thing that speaks to your heart. That's what you grab. That's the
Yeah.
opportunities that you should be grabbing. Don't grab because you feel it might change your life. And granted, the one that's organic, it may or may not, right? But it's
Mhm.
also giving you something to look forward to. It's something that's speaking to you. Don't just start grabbing at anything. Don't start going through
That's right.
doors and then you fall flat, right? We don't want to do that.
Mhm.
So, and
Right.
I think another quote was like, um, I don't remember who said it, but like, opportunities will continue to come. It might not come when you want them. It might not come when you really need them to, but they're gonna keep coming. You just have to
That's right.
be smart enough to know which one is for you.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. Exactly. We have to understand which ones are going to align with
Mhm.
like our dreams, our goals, and our desires, and then yes, say yes to that. So you mentioned as far as like the task of having to make a decision and how it can be challenging for
Mhm.
us, and it can be difficult for so many of us to make a decision about different things. And I think that if we will look at our guidelines and set those guidelines for what am I going to say yes to, and actually begin to ask ourselves those questions. Okay, this opportunity presented itself. Does it, how, or not does it, but how does it align with my goals, my dreams, and my purpose? Is it serving my goals, my dreams, and my purpose? And if it's not serving, then that should be a strong no. There should be no question about whether or not you should move forward. And I think we have to break it down even a little bit deeper than that, because, depending on what that opportunity is, it may be, okay, well, what are my goals? Then it's like a question, or what are my goals? What are my dreams? What is my purpose? But if we look at it based off of the areas of our life, so the 5 key areas of our life, our relationships are, from a spiritual side, from financially, from personal, professional development, from health and wellness. Does it align with, most of the time when we set goals, they're going to be set in each one of those areas. So whether we set 1 or 2 goals, if our dream is there, we're going to touch on those areas of our life. And so if we're breaking it down and actually developing guidelines for when we're going to say yes, then I think it makes that process of making a decision, it makes it easier for us to say no, and being okay with saying no to the opportunity. And because, like you mentioned, I mean, the doors, we're always going to have those doors of opportunities that are going to open up for us. Some of those opportunities will fade away, and some we will have to pick the ones that we feel like are we're interested in and that's going to align with us. And then the other ones, we just let kind of fade away. And then we give all our focus and all of our attention to what is really going to matter to us in our life, whatever the opportunity is, and making sure we're going to focus on that. So I think this is important and so fitting because, again, I think we all go through this struggle of, okay, we'll have all these opportunities on the table. What do I do next? And that's really, to me, that's what we do next, is we begin to, dive into it deeper and saying, okay, not just weighing the pros and cons of whatever the opportunity is, but does it really align? So it may have all of these pros. It may look like it is the best opportunity. However, if it does not align with your goals, your dreams, and your purpose, then what in our desires, then what are we doing? So I think we kind of also set ourselves up if we're not willing to really dive into it and really have those guidelines for what we're going to say yes to. So
exactly.
I don't know. I
have a great example of just accepting any type of opportunity, right? If you look at the music industry and you look at the young people who may have, a hit or something that went viral, and now you have all these doors opening to them, right? And they just start grabbing. They just grab at whatever opportunity is thrown at them, right? Because now it's just a temporary satisfaction of I'm about to get this fat check, but not really pausing and doing due diligence and saying, how is this making me feel, like morally, my values, like how is it making me feel? And you get a lot of people who sign these contracts, which is what? An opportunity. And now a lot of them are stuck. And they're like, I should never have done that. I should have never signed it. Now they're going through legal issues. Now they're going through all this drama, or, and it's like, when you think of it that way, it's like you have this greatness that people are going to be, predatory. And those opportunities are not real opportunities. And that's where you have to really, look at the situation as a whole. And yes, that $1 million, what you think is $1 million sounds good. Oh, it's going to take me far. It's going to help my family. But then you look at it, it's like, wait a minute, I'm not really getting that. I'm not getting close to that. All that's going to go back to them. I just signed my name on a dotted line. That's like, what did I do? because now it's like you're trying to satisfy a temporary feeling or a temporary, because you're like, okay, this is definitely gonna da 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 da. But did you really sit back? Did you get your lawyer? Did you have a conversation? Did you do all the things? Did you do the process correctly? Because that opportunity could have turned out really well if you did your due diligence, if you went and, got you an accountant, got you a lawyer, got you everybody that you needed to get the correct people, because, they can be some, predatory too. So it's you just have to think. You have to definitely protect yourself when opportunities come at you. Because I saw one thing is like, take every opportunity that comes your way. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because that opportunity is not for me. That door probably is not even being opened for me. It might be for the person behind me, for the one standing beside me, but that opportunity is not for me. You have to be nowadays, especially in today's society, you have to think smart when you're going into these opportunities. Because unfortunately, there are people who are predatory, who's going to see your light shine so bright, and now it's like their hand is out, and there's like, come to me, come to me, come to me, and it's like now you're in that space of which you have to stand there and you have to look at each one in the face. And whichever, if it don't make you feel good, if you have just a little inkling of, okay, something don't feel right, you might not want to take that opportunity.
That's right. And we have to learn how to trust our gut too. But I was thinking about how you said that. I'm like, all everything that glitters is not gold. That means that, it could be deceiving, right? That it's not, and it cannot just be something, but it can even be somebody. It might look shiny, it might look beautiful, it may even be very valuable on the outside, but that doesn't mean that that's what it is on the inside. So, and this applies to things, it applies to people, it applies to everything basically that may look like, you said, using the music industry as an example. It's not always just because it looks good. Listen, you have to dive into it more. You have to evaluate it more. And we need to learn how to trust our gut, our intuition, because it's there for a reason. And once you develop that, then, you'll just automatically know. You'll just automatically know, like, okay, something don't feel right, like you said, and know that means that's your no. That is your no. It's no reason to keep thinking about it. It's time to move past it. Don't even give any more energy to it. Let it be. And I think too that when we after we've said no, we have to have a strong no and not be so quick to apologize for saying no. Like, if your answer is no, then it's no, and let it be what it is. I think we get caught up in that too. We'll probably have to do that another show, but I think we get caught up in, when we need to say no, and we need to make sure it's a strong no. But this is good. This is really good. This is good. It's good.
Yes.
Anything else you want to add? Any more quotes or anything that comes to mind?
When it comes to opportunity, I want people to be logical with it. And, when it comes to the spaces that you're in, the opportunities that you're getting, and know that every opportunity is not going to be for you. Every opportunity is not a good opportunity. And you really have to be in tune with your emotions and your mental health to truly navigate that opportunity type of space. Because nowadays it's not just, the opportunity is knocking, but who's on the other side? That's the question. So that is the question. And I, definitely go with your gut. If you have to think about it, and if you're if you're just kind of going back and forth, and you have those like weird feelings, then it's not for you. But there are great opportunities out there. They are. So I don't want you to be afraid of, if something comes my way. No, you just have to be, you just have to educate yourself on what that opportunity is, and you have to just know when to pass on the opportunity. That's all it is. Because opportunities will come. They will come like a freaking merry-go-round. They're going to keep coming. They might not come when you want them. They may not come when you need them, but they're going to come. And you just have to be prepared to do the research. And if they really want to give you this opportunity, they will understand if you need a day or two, a week to think about it, or, not be pushy about it. They're going to let you make the right decision for you. If they're too pushy, then you might want to really like, wait a minute. But that's what I have to say. Just think about it.
Think about it. That's right. But don't take too long to think about it.
Yeah.
Don't take too long to think about it, because I think there's something to say about that, the process of delaying and why you're delaying it. And I think that goes back to developing our intuition and really asking yourself those key questions. Does this really align with the direction I'm trying to go? Does it align with my goals, my vision, my desires, my purpose? Does it align with all of that? And I think it's so easy for us as we ask ourselves those questions to really, after we answer those questions, to then know whether our answer is yes, I'm moving forward, or no, it's a strong no. And whatever that is for you, whatever that process is, it's all about developing yourself, learning more about you, and know that those opportunities are going to continue to come your way. Yes, they're going to be knocking at the door. We just have to make sure it is the best one before we open that door, right?
Exactly.
We have to make sure it's good. Yes. So, like we say every single week, make sure you are tapped into our Facebook group, the Mom Boss Talk Radio Facebook group. If you haven't, please find it. Send a request to join. We would love to have you as a part of the community. We have some amazing things that's coming up, and we want you to be a part. We want you to be a part of the community of the Mom Bosses. And so this has been good. This has been really, really good. We thank you all for tuning in. Y'all know how we do. We are super excited that y'all are joining. And make sure you guys tune in next week. Stay fabulous. Stay fearless. Know that you are amazing. You are making moves, and you got this. Until next time, stay safe and be blessed.
Thank you for joining us on Mom Boss Talk Radio. Follow each of the Mom Bosses on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you love Mom Boss Radio, visit the website at www.envisionedbroadcasting.com. We'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes. Until next time.